Hello and welcome to the Hail to the Victor in You podcast, previously Multiform PTSD. I am your host, Tracy Lowry, and it is so good to be back and to have this podcast now as part of the Hail to the Victor in You movement. We've got the Hail to the Victor in You workbooks. I've been going and doing the Hail to the Victor in You clinics, and I've been speaking. We're starting this podcast up again, and I couldn't be more excited about now my Hail to the Victor in You TV show. Oh, goodness, if only you knew where this started. It'd be really unbelievable to see where it's actually going. So what this podcast is going to be all about is short clips that will hand you some powerful insights and motivation and awareness that you can apply to your life immediately, right now, in simple terms. Quick, get you on your way and get you on your day. If you follow me or any of my work, you know I often talk about narcissistic abuse and PTSD and lots of other topics. But today I want to talk to you about an experience I actually had this weekend. As you know, I've been working through my own traumas and tribulations, and this weekend I was out for an evening movie. The movie was done, it was a great movie, had a good time, and suddenly I passed a building. And this building, for whatever reason, threw me into an instant, I call it a lightning show of flashbacks. They just came flooding. Most of those memories were memories I didn't remember. I had suppressed subconsciously, and it led to quite a panic attack. Now, this led to me feeling really down on myself, frustrated, feeling like a fraud, and like maybe I wasn't as healed as I thought I was because I hadn't had a panic attack like that in quite some time. And it really made me feel like maybe I had backed up or maybe was just a fraud altogether. So after spending some time with myself, I decided to take a look at it a little more objectively, and I said to myself, okay, what would I tell a client in this situation? What would I tell my listeners if this happened to them? What if I had a guest that talked about this, or even a loved one? What would I say to them? And it became clear that the self-talk that was going on in my head about my situation was nothing like what I would say to someone else in the same situation. What I needed to do was stop and take a look at where I was now and how far I had come. If you don't know my story, let me just tell you this. I went unable to leave my bedroom. It was work to go to the bathroom. I was almost unable to speak, if you can even believe that. I was almost unverbal. I couldn't talk to people. I couldn't be around people. I couldn't do anything by myself. I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't leave my room. I was paralyzed by anxiety and depression and PTSD, and I don't want to go into all of that, but that's where I was. And now I am able to travel the country. I've been to Las Vegas, talk about people, and lots of talking and being around people and traveling, and there's strobing lights and flashing lights and all of these things that really could have thrown me into over the deep end, and it didn't. I'm now able to speak to people. I'm able to go to church. I'm able to go to social functions. I'm able to speak here and now to you on my podcast. I'm able to go on now a global television show and talk there to people across the globe. Here's the truth bomb that I want to give you today. We heal in layers. And that's just the way it is. Healing is a journey. It's not a destination. Sometimes it's okay to briefly stop focusing on where you want to be. Briefly. And take a look in that rearview mirror to appreciate where you are and how far you've come. We do have a rearview mirror for a reason, because sometimes we briefly need to look back there. And then once you do that, and once you heal that next layer, once you take that next breath, what I did was I gave myself a day. And I let myself feel all the feels, because I know that if I shove those feelings down, pretend they're not there, they're going to come up eventually anyway. I'm human. And that's just the way it is. And if that offends anybody or makes you feel like I'm a fraud, then I guess I'm just going to have to be okay with that because I am human. I took that day, I took that time to heal, to recover, to feel all the feelings, to process the best I could. And here I am today, recording my very first episode of season 3 of my podcast, but really the first season under the name of the Hail to the Victor in You podcast. And with that short, brief, I hope inspirational, motivational message for you today, I'm Tracy Lowry, your host here at the Hail to the Victor in You podcast. Please be sure to check out my website, www.tracylowry.com, and make sure you subscribe to this podcast, but also my new TV show, the Hail to the Victor in You show. Holy cow, what a dream come true. It's on the Believe in Your Dreams TV network. You can find it on many platforms across the country and across the world, and we're adding more and more as time goes on. It is such a dream come true. Make sure to subscribe and share with all of your friends and loved ones. If you need a little extra work, if sometimes you are better with hands-on stuff, I do have a workbook to help you work through some of the traumas in your life so you can become a victor in your life. That's what this movement is all about. You can find that at that website, and again, it's www.tracylowry.com. Make sure to share and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.